I want to get started by introducing our first speaker, who's going to give the welcome note and the introduction to this workshop. In fact, I don't think he needs much of an introduction. Raymond Knopp, professor at Eurocom, one of the founders of OpenAirInterface, and the president of the OpenAirInterface Software Alliance. So he's going to open the workshop.
Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming to Eurocom. It's very nice to see some very old faces and old familiar faces, and some new ones too. This workshop is actually a trio of celebrations. Of course, we're celebrating the 10th anniversary workshop, the 10th anniversary of OAI. I don't think the founders here thought we would get to the point where we are today. It's quite remarkable, and I think you'll hear a little bit about that in a minute or so. So that's really the first celebration. The second celebration, and really this is on behalf of Eurocom, is to celebrate the long-standing collaboration we have with one of OAI's strategic partners, and that's Qualcomm. We'd like to thank Qualcomm wholeheartedly for the support and over the years, and in particular for this workshop. In recent years, Qualcomm has been supporting both Eurocom and OAI very, very heavily. I think we are quite aligned on a lot of things about the work that's going on at Eurocom, and we really appreciate that collaboration, both technical and non-technical collaboration. But actually, the relationship with Qualcomm is beyond OAI. It's been going on for many, many years. It's right from the very, very beginning of Eurocom that we were working with Qualcomm, mostly through our teaching program. We generated a lot of students at the very beginning that went on to do very long and fruitful careers with Qualcomm. One of them you'll hear, I think Lorenzo Casaccia, he was one of our former students, if I'm not mistaken. You'll hear him speak here. There were many, actually, through the years, and I think that that was the seed, if you like, for the initial collaboration with Qualcomm. And now it's gone to where you see it today. And and this leads me to the third celebration. One of the reasons that we have these kind of relationships with companies like Qualcomm and Ericsson and Nokia was because of my colleague Christian Bonnet, who actually believed very, very strongly in the importance of interacting with industry. That was instilled in all of us. He taught all of us about technical things, of course. I learned a lot from Christian, but also non-technical things, how to interact with companies, how to do work that is meaningful also for our ecosystem. So the third celebration is to recognize Christian's contribution, and we decided to create a special role for this. It's called the Honorary President of the OpenAirInterface Software Alliance, because he was actually the first president before me. And together we are partners in crime in many things, but I think this was the biggest crime. It's a nice crime, but the biggest crime was OAI. And he's a very big reason why we got to the point where we are today, both technically and non-technically. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the baton, or the mic, to Christian, so he could say a few words on his impression of the 10 years of OAI.
Thank you, Raymond. I blush a little bit. So I will give a kind of informal introduction to OAI. And on the historical perspective, so there is no spontaneous creation of such a thing. So the story is far away. So I would say one or two words about the creation of Eurocom, in fact. So it was at the operational in March, 1st of March in 1992. And I had the privilege to be one of the first professors. So we were 5 around the table and creating EURECOM without knowledge of each other and just willing to create something new in teaching and research. And so I came from industry. I was not a professor, or I was not a faculty member before coming to join EURECOM. So maybe it explained that I had some, facility to ability to discuss with industrial people, as Raymond mentioned. So remember, so late 92 and beginning of 93, what we had? We had in France the early deployment of GSM. Okay, there's no 3G, no real data communication over pure GSM. We had just the CERN releasing in open source the web. So the web was created and available to people in 93. Well, we got in 91 Linus Torvalds, who released his first available kernel, Linux kernel. And it was released on floppy disk, 5 inches floppy disk. So imagine that. Huh? And if you bought a PC at that time, it was coming with Windows 3.1. So that was the situation when we started EURECOM. And so we started in the lab with the installation of the first one of the first Linux released, and in '93 we could hire a professor named Pierre Humblé, and who was a key person in this framework, because Pierre was willing to do research. He came from MIT, so really a big guy, and he wanted to have also an impact on real networks, on real things. So he used the PC as a platform to plug many different cards. So one of the cards was the ISDN card, because he invented a solution for the 56K modems. So at that time, so now it seems to be out of date, but at that time it was a key component. And from this key component, he got patents, and we could sell the patents, and EURECOM could earn a lot of money out of that, a lot. And that was a key point, because we could have, in the mobile communication system department at that time, we could have enough funds to start the idea of creating a platform, a wireless platform, to be able to put innovation and the results of the research to support research results, creating a platform based on PC. Okay. So all started in '98. In '98, we had the agreement from our administration to launch this activity. And so supporting research, having a platform supporting research for the next generation of wireless systems. With this first money and this idea, we could hire someone who was key at that moment, and it was Dominique. So Dominique Nussbaum was my first engineer I could hire on the platform, and the second key element was, of course, Raymond. And Raymond at that time was he was first a PhD student of Pierre Humblé, and then he did his postdoc at EPFL. And he was so it was a strange time where we had so someone, me and Dominique at Eurocom, and Raymond at EPFL. And the first, I think the first development done was on a PC, but using DSP cards from Texas Instruments, floating point and or fixed point card. After that, during that period, initial period, it's Raymond that had the idea to put all the DSP treatment on the PC CPU. So that was a key step. Then Raymond joined Eurocom in 2000, I think, and from the collaboration with the EPFL, at the same time we had the collaboration with ST Microelectronics, and okay, OAI is a lot of software, but at that time it was not the question of the software, it was the question of the radio, okay? And so we had our first radio at that time, and this is what is still what remains from the initial radio, this card. So no component on it, but that was the first radio card plugged to a PC with the, I think the modulation was QPSK, and that was demonstrated. So this first element. So this is a demonstration in. This is what we had in 2000. So imagine we started in 1998, and we had a first demo in 2000 using the SD card. So you have here on the picture a mobile station and a base station. So it looks the same. In fact, it was the same setting. So one playing the role of a mobile station, and the other one playing the role of the terminal. And it was a bulky PC hosting all that. So we were lucky to get funds from a national call for proposal, and we were lucky to have a project named Platon for the. They wanted some platforms, and we started with with having in mind the implementation of UMTS in TDD mode, time division duplex mode. So the time duplex mode was not something that eased the process, because in time duplex you don't have the real time. You have less real time constraints compared to FDD. The radio card is simpler, and we could have also an experimental band in the TDD band. When you go for radio, the problem is having a first radio, so we had the first radio, having the software. So Raymond contributed a lot to the first version of the DSP software of the platform, and then you have to get the permission from the authorities, from the regulator. Unfortunately, I had contact with the regulator, because if I go back to the creation of Eurocom, I had contacts with Lucent. And Lucent, they gave me 3 radio cards, the WaveLAN. So it was before the Wi-Fi. So WaveLAN, remember, you had no authorization from the equivalent of the RCEP now, no authorization to deploy in the WaveLAN transmission in this band. So I asked the regulator, so can I use them? Can I apply to be allowed to use these cards in the 2.4 gig band? They said, okay, don't ask, because otherwise we would say no. Okay, so it was this time. But it was the first contact for me with the equivalent of RCEP, the national regulator, called at that time ART. And so I kept this contact, and I could get a first chunk of spectrum to go on air. Okay. And then first demonstration outside Eurocom. Okay. That was in Nice in 2000. So you see Raymond? Okay. And okay, it's me. So hair are black and not gray. This is 2 important persons. The guy with gray hair is Senator Lafitte, who was the founder of, the creator of Sophia Antipolis. And he was there on the booth in Nice. And Claude Guéguin, who was the first director of Eurocom. So this is impressive. They came to see us in Nice for this early demonstration. So after that, in 2000 and 2002 was really the starting point of creating a real access network stack. So at first we had the radio connected with Linux, and the radio was like a new driver for Linux. And then we started to have more staff at Eurocom working on the project, and thanks to the many projects we had. So we were involved in many European projects. And what was really astonishing is that, okay, we started with the French projects, and one of the projects, the early projects, was Platon. The second one was an application project and was with Renault and France Télécom. The project was named SAMU, and Renault wanted to have a communication link between the car and the infrastructure. And okay, how to do a demo at that time? Okay, well, we rely on Eurocom to do the demo. And after, I received the phone call from Deutsche Telekom. Okay. And imagine what they said to me. They said, okay, So we have a big European project. I don't know I don't remember quite the number of partners, but it was around 30 partners, something like that, maybe more. Well, for the radio transmissions, we had a partner, a French partner named Alcatel, but Alcatel is not willing to do the project. So I need someone to do the radio link, the UMTS radio link. Are you ready to do that? Okay, of course. Of course. So we entered the European project as a replacement of Alcatel. So imagine that. It's completely crazy. Huh? And we did it. Huh? And we did it. So in 2002, what we had was the access stratum, the connection to IPv6. So I was fond of replacing all the strengths, GTP, etc., with the IPv6 features. Okay, that was the time. And web browsing and video transmission at the same time. And maybe you can see a little picture. And on this little picture, I think it's Lionel that you may know, who is in real time on this picture. So it was 2002. And we had another generation of card. And so the card we had is this one. How is this statement? Express Cardbus Memo 2. Okay. So we could compare the card with the Orinoco card that was from Cisco at that moment. Okay. Demonstration outdoor in Cannes in 2002, and it was not the Mobile World Congress, but it was named 3GSM Congress, and we are on Cannes Harbor. You see Lionel in the middle, on the right, Raymond and me, and we had to negotiate, and so what you have on the left is a mobile station, and on the right, this is the base station connected to the network, with the permission of the regulator, of course. This is Dominique on the boat, on Philip's boat, for the demonstration, and so Dominique is busy showing the demo, and you see Lionel is busy to take cookies, but he did a lot. Okay. Yes, we had 2002 was really where we had a kind of real system to demonstrate. But after that, well, a lot of generation of radio cards, and it was a lot of work, and it was before USRP and HS cards, etc. So we were very happy that someone else took the responsibility of providing radio cards. So this is one of the final cards. Express MIMO 2, 4x4 transmission. This is the power amplifier here. So all this resulted in a software package named Wireless 3G for Free. So we wanted to release in open source the UMTS TDD implementation, and then we switched at that moment to OFDM waveform, and we had a project, two projects, one named Widens and the other one Chorist, and these two projects were to implement the kind of LTE at Raymond's sauce, better design than the current, the old 3GPP standard, and it was LTE with mesh capabilities, so with cluster heads and relay nodes, etc. But we were pushed by the industrial partners to say, why don't you go closer to the standards? And this is the decision that was taken in 2009. And you know the story. In 2014, that was the creation of the Alliance, close to the standard, and we had the first interoperability between the base station and commercial mobile phones, and vice versa. Our UE was interoperable with commercial networks. So you see, we had our SIM card, and the name of the operator is OpenAirInterface, and all started like that. So I would like to say that the first thing of the Alliance, so it was the story of a lot of hardware, software, etc. But the story of the Alliance is to first design the license. Okay, it was a challenge to be close to the standard, and the standards is a lot of patents on the radio interface, and how to build something that is open, available to everyone. You are a hacker at home, you are a big company, you want to have a small deployment in your lab, or you want to deploy outside, and you have an outside deployment here at Eurocom. So the patent was key. And one our contribution, and with the early partners, was to build this OpenAirInterface Software Alliance. And that was a key point to reunite software, which is kind of copyright, and the patent world. Okay. And now you know the story, early partners, and I was lucky with the early partners to be able to hire Irfan. You know Irfan now for a long time, and be able to see the expansion of the number of contributors to OpenAirInterface, and hand the over as a president. I gave the baton to Raymond, and I see you here, and I'm happy now that okay. I hope that now OpenAirInterface is the place to be. I hope it's like that. Thank you.